Ready, Rebecca?
Yes.
Okay, welcome everyone to October 10th, 2024 town board meeting. If you would, please rise.
Pledge of Allegiance to the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We'll roll right into the minutes, maybe, or the business part. Minutes of previous meeting.
Make a motion.
Go ahead. Mark made a motion. Did I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Reports by elected officials and department head. Town clerk.
So the clerk's office, total income for September is $21,044.83. $11,849.76 from fees and sales are paid to Department of Health, Ag and Markets, DEC, and the State Comptroller for bingo. $9,195.07 will be remitted to the supervisor's office. Revenue totals: $3,580.60 come from recycling sales. $2,375 come from rentals. That's 14 community center reservations. $434 in dog licenses. It's 1 original, 69 renewals. $2,805.47 miscellaneous fees, which come from $807.50 from Vital Statistics, $700 in haulers and peddlers permits, $106.48 from bingo proceeds, $525 from Easy Pass tags, that's 21 tags, and $666.49 is our commission from DEC for $11,446.51 in sales. Cheryl and I, my deputy, attended the Rensselaer County Clerks Association meeting on Tuesday. Topics included dog control officers and dog shelters and the new DEC paper hunting licenses. Tonight, the Board of Elections is here for voter registration clinic until 9:30 and to answer any questions anybody may have regarding the upcoming election. Early voting begins on October 26th and it runs through November 3rd. It's 9 to 5 every day except Monday and Wednesday is from 12 to 8 p.m. All Rensselaer County residents can vote early here. If you wait until election day, you will have to go to your normal polling location. I am currently looking into joining a program called New York Paint Care. It's a recycling paint program for just leftover paint you may have in your home. I'm trying to get started for the 2025 year. It's a free program. Now, if you purchase paint, it comes with an extra fee. That fee is what will pay for this recycling paint program. We got the agreement, but we haven't been able to go through it just yet. But that's my goal. As working in the town clerk's office, we get multiple calls a week just asking how we can get rid of used paint. So there's obviously a need. We're trying to look into that. Just a few things going on in the community this weekend. On Saturday, there's a Red Cross blood drive at Eagle Mills Fire Department. There's a car seat check at the Brunswick Community Library from 10 to 2. Rensselaer County Soil and Water Tire Recycling Program is offering, it's tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12, but it's free for all county residents. You can bring up to 25 car and light truck tires per household for no charge. It's a massive savings. So if you have tires anywhere, that would be a great chance to get rid of them. You do have to register, and there's a phone number. All offices and the recycling center are closed on Monday, October 14th for Columbus Day.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Otherwise, entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make it. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Highway Department, Mr. Bailey, come on up. Pick that microphone up, you're a tall guy.
You hear me tonight, huh?
Well, yes,
Oh,
I got a switch here, I can turn it off. Go ahead.
are we all done now? September highway report. Mowing, I had one man for 6 days doing ball fields, common properties, Keys Lane. We had 5 men doing ditching work for 5 days. That work consisted of working over on Bellevue, working in the big line that's Road, over on Grove Street, we put in some paved gutters where they had a water issue. 9 Calhoun, we replaced the culvert in the driveway there and fixed up the ditch in front of that house. Up in Roberts Drive, we did the same thing coming down that big steep hill. There was 3 or 4 driveways, the culverts were rusted out, so we fixed them, and we dug the ditches and cleaned that up. 2 Merrill Lane, we did the same. We had a bad culvert, we fixed that for the lady. And we finished up over on Army Hall, went down through, there was 3 culverts there that were all rusted out, in addition, hadn't been maintained for quite a while, so. Did a lot of ditching work that needed doing, and I've been doing that. Next issue we did was patching, we did a lot of patching this month, 13 days with 5 men, and we're just trying to catch up before the blacktop plants close. During the month, we had one day where we pulled 3 or 4 dumpsters over to recycling. The new compactor makes it so it's very minor. That's working out very well. Had 2 men for 3 days picking up leaf bags. We had 2 men for 5 days getting sanders starting to get ready, getting leaf bags put together, getting the leaf trucks, the box put on, just doing general shop work, trying to get caught up after paving. The next thing we did was 3 men for 2 days, closing up the beach program, taking pulling all the docks, getting everything ready for the winter over there, putting all the tables away. Brush pickup, we had 7 men for 6 days. Taking a bit of a brush pickup, we got asked by the town of Grafton to come up and help them with paving projects, so we sent them 2 trucks for 4 days during that. Help them out a lot, saves a lot of money to share services like that. $10-12 a ton for each ton of blacktop. So it helps out the other communities. Recycling shed, Bob Hayner and Rogers in the recycling shed, repainted it for some new benches, and just rehab the whole shed. It was getting a little beat up after 10-15 years. So
More reason won't buy a new one, so.
yeah, the price for new one was a little costly.
We looked into that, a little scary.
We had 1 man for 3 days finishing mowing roadsides, just getting knocked down enough that the weeds would go off the roads if they can. And we had a little bit of brush chip and 4 men for 2 days. And, last weekend, they had a big event over at the ball field, so we went over and cleaned that up. So 3 men per day over there cleaning up, getting ready for that event.
Get a lot of compliments about that. That was a big event. Girls softball had a 10-team tournament there all over, all day long, and then football had senior night games, and it was nice. You drive down through there, there's a lot of kids. The facility looked nice. Thank you.
And last thing that we're doing is we spent a couple days over cutting trees and straightening up Forest Park Cemetery. The county clerk has an event there next weekend, so she has to have it cleaned up. We took care of that for her. That's my report.
Thank you.
It's a lot.
Did a lot there, Michael. Entertain a motion to approve Mr. Bailey's report.
Make it. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Bradley, Water Department. Hey, don't take it personal. We'll turn it on now. Want to do that again?
I'll go home.
Okay.
Thankfully, the rest of the mics are pretty sensitive.
My bus here, running over you. Bill?
Good evening. Speak into the mic.
There you
Water sewer report for September 2024. The water and sewer collection is going well with a few exceptions. Original collection was for approximately $800,000. We've collected $557,000. Remaining balance is $260,000. And of that $260,000, Kindle Associates owes us $89,000. Wow. Which will go essentially to the relay. I thought about the possibilities of us working with the county and potentially, turning the water off, which would give the residents an opportunity to pay. And that works in an apartment. I can't say for sure in a manufactured home park that's the same rules. But if you go to shut the water off now, let's say go to an apartment complex or something like that, you have to give the tenants the opportunity to pay, and they can withhold that from the landlord. But it gets a little complicated there. So I guess the county's going to take the bite on this one. Re-levy is in November, because of taxes in January. We started to drain the Vanderheiden Reservoir in anticipation of the water main relocation project. Draining the reservoir is required kind of as a safety precaution because they're digging underneath the 20-inch line that's there, just in case something happened and things went bad. It's a cast iron pipe, and I'd rather have a controlled release of 200 million gallons of water instead of an uncontrolled release of 200 million gallons. So we started that yesterday, and that's going well. We're going down and check it this afternoon. Generally, besides just our routine stuff that we do and everything else, the guys have been locating these curb boxes, which are required as part of the levy comparable, so they've been focused on that for the most part. And then the new NS4 permit requires us to have a map on the website that lets people go there, and essentially it's an interactive map. You can look at layers of where stormwater outfalls are located, stream classifications there are, stream wetlands there are. So that's up and actually on the website today. It's really simple. I'm done. Any questions?
One comment I didn't mention today, highway was working on Wayne Street and I happened to be out. So I stopped down and you knew to us sweeper. So when I was there, a gentleman came out of the house and said that your guy went around checking the meters to replace them, right? And he said that his was so rusty that the men were afraid to turn it off or adjust it because they thought something was going to break. So they went outside to turn the main off, and what they found out was the main was crooked. They couldn't get a key on it or something, so they couldn't do that either. And so what he said is they told them that they would be back, and they never went back. So I don't know how long ago that was.
I didn't get the time frame on that. I did talk to this afternoon, and that they need to cut his driveway open because the showing box is in the middle of the driveway, and they'll
Right.
the back truck down there and back and try to put a new curb box. So, we'll plan that and move forward with it.
Right.
It's just that they shouldn't make promises they're not going to keep.
The problem is when you make a promise to a senior, me being one, what you end up doing is every day you're looking out the window, so a week or two sounds like 2 or 3 months. But my question, Bill, is they made promises, but they didn't tell you that there's a situation. Is there, they carry like laptops or whatever in the computer, is there a way for those guys to plug in, a problem or a to-do list? And then you would have it on your computer and have a list, because these guys make the promises and there are 3 guys that work for us or 2 guys, and you don't know. And the problem is, he said, well, the town promised that they'd be back. Now, they didn't say the water kids promised, the town promised, and we're, so is there a to-do list?
Yes, we do have the ability. We have a work order system. Did I go back and track to see whether that work order was closed or not? No, I did not.
No, I'm just
We
curious.
do have a work order system that they put information into if they can't get onto something or whatever, and that work order should say.
They do that right on site?
Yes, they can do that right with it.
Okay.
So I have to go back and look and see, that they're doing that. They are putting information in on a regular basis.
Did they put each and every single one in? I can't tell you.
Yeah. But then you'd have a handle on, I mean, what this gentleman said, my concern is if something breaks in my house, all of a sudden in the middle of the night, and they can't turn the meter off, they can't turn the main off. And I said, you're right. So I know you went on vacation, well-deserved vacation, but then the men are here, and,
Yeah.
you know, they
there's-
spend a
there's-
nice week cleaning their trucks, and they all look pretty, but maybe if there was a list to do,
Well, they have a list, but I can tell them in the morning to do one thing, and in the afternoon they forget, so it's, I will be blunt, I'm not a micromanager, so I've been working with them, they're doing very well.
not a micromanager, but
Not in every case do they.
But being a head of the department, if there's a problem out there and you're not aware of it,
I have bigger problems.
we've got to have some way to report back to you. I mean, Michael, the highway, he makes it, after breaks down things, comes back, puts it in the computer, correct, Mike? Job to do, and then you got it, so.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to train them to be self-sufficient. It
I
doesn't work every single day.
was just curious if you were doing that and this was the way.
There is a work order system, we do use a work order system.
Good.
Is it perfect? I'm not gonna say this, so.
Yep.
All right.
All good. All right, motion approved, bills report,
I'll make it.
second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Town attorney, Mr. Chalky?
This past month, I attended and participated in meetings with staff and outside counsel, various matters at town office, at a conference call, remote meeting on September 18, September 19, September 23, September 24, September 25, October 1, October 3, and October 7, October 8, and October 9 of 2024. I attended and participated in a special meeting of the town board on September 1, 2024 regarding October 1, 2024, regarding the initiation of the 2025 annual budget adoption process. We also prepared the required special meeting notice. I prepared resolutions and other documents pertaining to tonight's regular meeting. I've been working with the supervisor's office regarding the preparation and approval of successor fire protection agreements with Brunswick Fire Company Number 1 and the Mountain View Volunteer Fire Company pertaining respectively to the Brunswick Fire Company Number 1 Fire Protection District and the Mountain View Fire Protection District. The current contracts with those fire companies expire at the end of this year. Public hearings will need to be held on both contracts as well. I've been working with outside counsel on several matters of litigation pending against the town. I've been working with the building department regarding some pending and prospective code enforcement matters and code interpretation issues. Been working with the supervisor's office on some personnel matters. Worked with various departments in responding to some outstanding freedom of information law requests. Worked with Bill Bradley on issues pertaining to the state-required updates to the town's municipal enforcement plan. Working with the building department in defending an appeal to the zoning board of appeals from the building department determination. I attended a complimentary continuing legal education class, which will count toward my continuing CLE requirements. I've been working with the building department regarding compliance with the subpoena duces taken seeking the production of building department records, which is going to be issued by the Schenectady County Family Court and the Schenectady County Attorney's Office. As always, I perform legal research, providing legal opinions, and review or prepared legal documents as requested by various town officials and employees.
All right, any questions? I'll make a motion to approve Tom's report. All in favor?
Aye.
Library, anybody from the library tonight?
She announced, Sarah announced last month that she
Oh,
will not be
yes.
attending. They're accepting an
I thought that
award
was
this
last
evening.
month.
Nope,
I
it's
lose
October.
track of my months, so that's correct. We get other reports handed in. Mr. Eng-
She did turn it in, and
Mr.
Mr.
Eng-
Engster as
yeah.
well.
Tom couldn't make it either.
That's right.
Okay. So we'll move right into the resolutions.
We have who was the first and second for Tom's report? Our attorney?
For what, for
His
Tom? I
motion.
made a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is there a second?
Oh, it was Gordy, never mind,
I
I'm
did.
sorry.
Okay?
Yep.
Didn't we vote on that?
Yep.
Okay. Resolutions.
Okay. Resolution 64 of 2024, resolution authorizing purchase of truck for Town of Brunswick Highway Department.
Second.
The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Christian and seconded by Councilman Sullivan. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly?
Aye.
Councilman Christian?
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary?
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington?
Aye.
The resolution is adopted. Resolution 65 of 2024, resolution approving and authorizing supervisor to execute plan service agreement with Johnson Controls Incorporated pertaining to HVAC equipment at the town office building. Second?
Yeah.
Thank you. The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Christian and seconded by Councilman Sullivan. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly?
Aye.
Councilman Christian?
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan?
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary?
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington?
Aye.
This resolution is adopted. Resolution 66 of 2024, resolution approving 2025 tentative budget as 2025's preliminary budget of the town of Brunswick.
Offer it. I'll second.
The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Sullivan and seconded by Councilman Christian. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
This resolution is adopted. Resolution 67 of 2024, resolution appointing member to Board of Assessment Review of the Town of Brunswick.
Oh, wait a minute.
The budget resolution,
Yeah.
I just noticed that in my packet, the resolution says no revisions, but there's a.
There had been.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
we have to fix that, because I was surprised when I saw it, but I thought maybe the decision was changed. So.
We have another version of this resolution.
Right. But-
Yeah.
But we need to rescind the one we just adopted.
Gotcha. It is still going to be resolution 66 though.
Yeah,
Okay.
We're gonna have a public hearing on this budget.
yeah, but see, we adopted the incorrect one.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm glad I saw it, because we would have had to come back and have another meeting. See, the resolution says there's no revisions, and yet there's a revisions page.
So if I make a resolution to rescind,
Maybe we're gonna have to renumber.
I can renumber it. Or can I call it like 66A?
Yeah.
Thank you.
make
Yep.
a motion to rescind resolution 66
Thank you.
because it was made in error, stating no revisions, and a motion to accept 66A with the revisions to the account.
Oh, do we have that?
Yeah. I have both. Not every, I have both right here.
You get a big packet.
Yeah,
I don't have the other one.
it's
is
this
what I
one.
got. See, it says no revisions.
No revisions. This one I have, as modified and amended.
That's exactly what you need.
Okay.
Do you have the schedule?
Yes, I do.
So does any of the board want to look at that?
No, I've got the revisions.
And also, I did, put the new preliminary budget is in the back of your packets as well, in the hopes of it being passed tonight.
So did Mark's motion,
Mark made a motion to rescind, and he made a motion to accept 66A.
I think we need to formally adopt 66A.
Okay,
So maybe.
Okay, I'll make my motion to rescind 66.
right.
We need a second motion.
Mark,
Second. All in favor?
All right.
okay.
I need a roll call, right?
Doesn't matter.
Aye, okay. It is still called this thing. Okay, so Resolution 66A, resolution approving 2025 tentative budget as 2025 preliminary budget of the town of Brunswick. I'll say as modified and amended to the extent set forth in the annex schedule, which is incorporated into and made part of this resolution.
Offer.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
Is that okay?
All good, Tom? Thank
Yeah.
you. That's better than another meeting.
Good catch, Tom. I didn't notice.
Resolution 67 of 2024, resolution appointing member to Board of Assessment Review of the Town of Brunswick.
I'll offer.
The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Balistrary and seconded by Councilman Christian. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
This resolution is adopted. Resolution 68 of 2024, resolution approving and authorizing participation by the town of Brunswick in National Grid's outdoor lighting LED conversion program, the memorandum of agreement, and further authorizing the supervisor to issue a letter of commitment to National Grid.
I'll offer.
Second.
The foregoing resolution has been offered by Councilman Christian and seconded by Councilman Sullivan. Roll call vote, Councilman Sipperly.
Aye.
Councilman Christian.
Aye.
Councilman Sullivan.
Aye.
Councilman Balistrary.
Aye.
And Supervisor Harrington.
Aye.
This resolution is adopted.
Okay. Good, Rebecca? Correspondence?
Never mind. We have two pieces of correspondence. We received a message from Brad Spraker. Spraker, is that how you say it?
I'm sorry.
Brad, from president of
Right.
girls, president of the girls softball. He says, "Hey Phil, we just left the fields, the sports fields, baseball, football, and softball are all going at the same time." This was on Saturday. It was, well, the whole weekend was just sports. What a great day for Brunswick Youth Sports. Thank you for all your help yesterday, getting everything ready, grading the road, parking lots, and mowing and trimming. Clearing out the brush by Field 3 was a huge help. Plenty of parking. Have a great weekend. Thank you. And then we also received today an email from Patty Sprague. Phil, I had the opportunity to see the new speed humps and wanted to compliment the excellent work done by the Highway Department in the Sickaway neighborhood on the north side of Hoosick Street. The speed bumps are well placed and well marked with paint and signage. Hopefully they will have the desired effect and traffic will be slowed down on those streets. Even though I don't live in Sickaway or drive through very often, it was great to see the proactive steps the town has taken to address the traffic concerns of residents. Please share my thanks and appreciation with Mike Bailey and his team. Sincerely, Patty Sprague.
Very nice. I did go through there today, and the car I was following hit their brakes every single speed bump, so it was nice to see. To me, they don't look very high, but like I said, with regulations, and Mr. Bonesteel here, he'll tell you that it's a lot of regulations. They seem to be working. So, all good. So you good? Thank you.
We have to, we have public hearings to set.
Okay.
We need to set a public hearing on the preliminary budget.
And that's usually right after.
Usually we've always done it on the Thursday following the general election. That's actually the last day to do it. But we've always done it.
Yeah.
November 7th.
It'd be the 7th.
At a town board meeting? No.
No.
It's
Town
a-
board meeting's 14th.
Planning board night,
As a planning board night?
They start at 7?
7.
We do 6. 6? Yeah, we've done it before.
What's your work schedule, Mark?
I'm good with 6, but it's a little tight,
Want 6:15? Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so, give me-
6:15, November 7th.
Yeah.
$6.15.
Yeah.
And so do you want to do you want to just do a voice vote to agree to that?
So what day you got there, November 7th,
Yeah.
at 6:15?
6:15.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're good.
How about the fire districts?
Right, so that was next.
Oh,
So we need to set public hearings for for Mountain View and for Brunswick One for the fire protection contracts. So we.
can we do that on the 14th at 6:30 and
Yes.
6:45?
Sure, which one do you want to do at 6:30?
Who you got?
So what?
Mountain View.
Brunswick One at 6:30?
Okay.
And Mountain View at 6:45?
Yep.
And that's on the 14th.
Correct.
You want to ask for a motion just to approve those 2 days?
Have a motion to approve those 2 dates?
I'll make it.
Have a second?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All good?
Yep.
All right. How about old business? You got any old business? Mr. Bonesteel, I see you in the audience.
I'll be over it.
How about, you could be new business too. Step up to the mic, please. I asked Wayne to give us an update on what's going on, the Route 7 activities.
Okay, as you know, the Hoosick Road corridor study was adopted by the board. This is to kind of give you an update on implementation of some of the recommendations in that study. I did reach out to DOT some time ago regarding implementation of signal coordination, traffic signal coordination from Lake Ave to Walmart. And the potential for implementation of automatic traffic signal coordination. It's where all the signals talk to each other, essentially.
Yeah.
After some time went by, I did get a response from DOT, from the traffic signal operations engineer in Region 1, requesting the DOT put this on their plans to do that. And his response was, the short answer is the town doesn't need to take any action for the signal timing coordination. New York State DOT is reviewing our options, term agreements, and RDSAs. That's a regional design service agreement, which they use a consultant. They would get a consultant on board, further analyze and generate detailed signal timing plans for coordination of the signals. He said, I can't give you an exact time frame, but we are hoping to implement this within the next year. So that's the response from DOT.
Kim, are you listening?
I already knew.
What just got brought out here, I just heard. We've had people from the community, and rightfully so, come and they would like to have a monthly report on what New York State is doing on Route 7. And I've been around long enough. New York State is, DOT is very, very big. And I don't think we need a monthly report because their first response is, we can probably get it done within the next year. The coordination of the clock. So this is important for people to understand. Route 7 is a state road. It's not a town road. I'm pretty sure I could tell Mike how about doing something next week and probably get it done. But people look at us and say, what's going on? We adopted it. How come you're not changing the lights? But I just get flustered. Hey, I'm a farmer. I got 2 fields of hay and it's gonna rain. I gotta mow one of them, right? Or chop one of them to bring it in. So the government procedures kind of drive me
I
nuts.
deal with
Sorry.
DOT all the time.
What's
and
that?
They're not getting any better at processing.
We appreciate all the help they give us, but I don't think we need a monthly update on what's happening.
So I would say maybe quarterly,
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
maybe nothing happens in a quarter, but it's important to let people know.
Always if something comes up that's timely and urgent.
Yeah.
That could be brought out at the meeting.
Because we had a problem with a traffic light at the end of 142 and 7 a while back. And the traffic was back up all the way to Ginsburg. And I didn't see anything coming off of 142. And when we checked into it, we were told that the problem with the timing of that light, it was reading traffic that wasn't there. So the highway asked, when can we get that fixed? And they said, well, our crews don't do it. We put it out for somebody else. And probably a couple months we can get it fixed, So it's time consuming.
Well, I think
Go ahead, sir.
the traffic crew is out of the regional office, and the region is huge.
The
It goes
region's
all the way
big.
up to Essex County, all the
Oh,
way
wow.
up to Greene County, so it's a big region.
Yeah.
Moving on. Another of the recommendations in that quarter study was implementing traffic calming measures in neighborhoods. And I was kind of waiting to see some feedback on how well the speed humps are working, and everything I've heard so far that they are effective in slowing traffic down through the neighborhood. The reason they're only 3 inches high and 12 feet long
I know.
is they're not meant to slow them down to 10 miles an hour. It's meant to slow them down to 20 to 25. And I'll tell you, I can't take those speed humps in a pickup truck. It's one. Yeah. And also, they're easier to maintain, easier to plow because they're low and long. That's why they're the dimensions that they are.
Some people want them 3 foot high.
I did reach out to CDTA, the bus company, to go over a couple of the recommendations in the report that can only be acted on by them. One was eliminating some of the mid-block bus stops on Hoosick Road, specifically at Oneida Avenue, Derrick Avenue, and Killick. I did have a meeting with CDTA, it lasted about an hour, we had a nice discussion. CDTA says the implementation of elimination of those will have very little effect on traffic because those mid-block bus stops don't have a lot of ridership. Not a lot of people that use those mid-block bus stops, and eliminating them won't necessarily do much for traffic. They're so little used, and I said you have numbers that I can look at. And they're gonna get me numbers, like how many people get off and on at those mid-block bus stops, so we can decide as the town whether or not we want to pursue that recommendation. The other was putting a pull-out on at the intersection of Lord Avenue and Route 7. They kind of pushed back a little bit on that one. Their reason is that once the bus leaves the stream of traffic, he has to get back in. They're afraid that if there is a pullout without any kind of queue jumper at the light, you know what a queue jumper is? It's where the bus can go, but nobody else can go. We have them on Central Ave.
Oh, yeah, I've seen.
Yeah. Without the queue jumper, that bus could get stuck there and wait for traffic to clear before we can pull out. And CDTA is very concerned about schedules, making sure the buses are moving, so that would kind of slow down their schedule. I suggested that we keep that kind of on the table in the event that there's some other development that goes on where they could incorporate both a pull-out and a queue jumper into the development. You know, like on the corner there, Lord Ave, Route 7, that building there, you know, it's all commercial property. Someday somebody could come in and want to develop that corner. That would be an opportunity then to implement some of that. So we can revisit that in the future. But CDTA is a little bit resistant to do that. And they would also have to coordinate with DOT to make modifications on stuff. So it's something we'll keep on the radar, but it's not going to happen anytime soon.
Wait, on that issue about the eliminating the stops.
The midblock?
Yeah, the
stops,
midblock
yeah.
stops. Like, you know, they said that that it won't have any appreciable effect on traffic. How different is that from the conclusion that was in the report? Was I can't, remember, you're probably a lot more familiar with it. Was it in the report? Were they really strong about that?
Well, it was in the report, and honestly, CDTA should have spoke up when we put those recommendations together. It said something at the time like,
You would think.
yeah, we really think that's a viable recommendation. Because CDTA was part of the committee, the steering committee on that report. Perhaps they should.
Well, you're gonna get numbers so you can make some.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like one rider every 6 hours or something, I might tend to agree that maybe eliminating that really isn't gonna help. But we can look at the numbers. Come up with that. Idea whether we want to go back to CTA and say, yeah, we still want to do this.
You guys know the numbers and the times. Yeah,
They know it all. I mean, they
Yeah,
know all
so-
that.
the full post metrics would be great.
The rest of the recommendations pretty much require some significant funding. We want to put a roundabout at Grange Road, or we want to widen Route 7. It's going to take some other funding sources to do that. Specifically federal aid, which is controlled by CRTC. They program all the federal aid projects in the region. There is a transportation improvement project update coming up soon. They have not sent out a solicitation for projects yet. What they're telling me is that the solicitation for projects will come out in the next month or so. They said that they would be sure and reach out to the town of Brunswick as they reach out to every municipality in the region to solicit projects. And we will take a look at all the recommendations in this report and decide which projects we want to be sponsor of. The town would have to sponsor, even though it's a town road or a state road. The town would have to sponsor and kind of manage the project if they got awarded.
Kind of sounds like the same process as when you got the funding.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
CRTC will do a solicitation, and the municipalities all put their projects in, and they score them, and they decide which ones. Go for. So when that comes out, make sure that we get our applications in to do some of this stuff.
Excellent.
Does anybody on the board have any questions?
All up, Wayne.
Yeah, appreciate all this.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Very interesting, very good. Okay, any other, we'll move on to new business. Any new business at this point?
I have some new, the Public Safety Committee for the town met. We had taken part of the summer off due to vacations, trying to get everybody together. And we were looking at our options, specifically for the ambulance in the town of Brunswick. Currently, we're looking at a municipal CON, which is not too difficult to get from my understanding. And we're also looking at a MAP plan report, which needs to be accomplished anyway before we bring it to the town board. So we're working on those two things right now.
What is the municipal con?
Municipal certificate of need.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yeah. Anybody else got any new business?
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, let me say, I talked to a trooper the other day, that approached me, and he was telling me the story about a call he went on the other night, where middle of the night, some gentleman called 911 in Brunswick, supposedly twisted his ankle, called 911, they responded. I believe Mohawk came. And the story from the trooper, and I didn't believe it, so I had to follow up with Mohawk, who I had a meeting with the other day, the president and the vice president. And this is actually true. I'm in a different world, I'm sorry. They tell me they get these calls from people, such as he. When he got here, he requested to go to Albany Med. That's where he requested. So they took him to Albany Med, backed up, opened the door, he got out and said, "Thank you for the ride, I appreciate it," and walked away. I said, "You're kidding me, aren't you?" I said, "No, this happens." They used to take the time to go in the hospital and kind of get checked out, but now they're so blatant, they just open the doors and walk away. You know, whether they're in a drug deal or I don't know what the hell they're doing. I can't imagine people would do that. But when you talk about an ambulance, this type of things happen. Mark, you were involved. Has this ever happened? Are you aware of any of this? These things ever happen?
Phil, the amount of things I'm aware of in regards to the ambulance, we don't have time.
It's such a shame, such a shame. And that house where he went had a call the following night, and they had one today. I don't know what the heck is going on, but just very frustrating to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know the legal part of it, whether they can say, no, I'm not gonna transport you, or no, I didn't get that far into it, so. All right, any other new business? Tom, what were you mentioning?
No, Rebecca sent an email today about, she got a unsolicited proposal from the vet about boarding. That's Mark indicated he had a chance to look at it.
I just got it.
Yeah. So did everybody. Yeah.
It came late. It came after 3 p.m.
You know, I looked through it. There's always things in these that I wish were different. They're not written from the municipality's standpoint or the municipality's benefit. But, you know, these are difficult, as you all know, because we have no bargaining power because there's no other people who are interested. So this would, when this, you know, the board certainly doesn't have to do anything. The board, this would, the way that it was written, would run from the time of adoption till the end of 2025.
This is from a clinic.
Well, it's from Bound.
Right,
We had a
Bound.
contract with them before.
Right.
Yeah, they were our backup plan in case Capital Agway was at capacity. In 2024, we did not need to use their services, but as of January 2025, we don't really have an option for sheltering.
No,
So in the case
it's a big crisis in the
something
county.
happens, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll take a look at it, right? Yep. Any other new business? Warrants, gentlemen?
I make a motion we pay our bills.
Can I have a second?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we got any comments from any visitors tonight?
Come on, Jim.
So before you start, I went to a recent, a couple educational things about time, about minutes especially. For future, I just want your name and your road, no numbers. It's for safety purposes. So Brunswick Road.
Thank you. Jim Zaczek, Brunswick Road. I just wanted to quickly renew the discussion from last month about the comprehensive plan. And people made a suggestion of starting this again. I know the comprehensive plan is meant to be just like a broad view or a roadmap for the development of the town. You know, and the last process started in 2011. It was finalized in 2013. It's not just the age. It's not just the thing that's every so often. What's happened is that totally new issues have arisen that need to be managed. And then, for example, if this is a roadmap, we're on new terrain without a roadmap. Okay, and one of the examples of this is the issues of the construction of solar fields. Right? Where we have the towns try to minimize any sort of impact. You know, we had the moratorium and then the reports and things like that. But several projects are in front of the planning board right now, and it would be nice to have a comprehensive plan to guide them. Okay? I know we're not going to get a comprehensive plan quickly enough to do the ones that are in front of the board now, but I think it's just something that it needs to be done.
I've not had anybody mention to me about that they didn't have enough guidance. And I haven't seen it in the notes either, minutes. So I'll have to talk to them, I guess, just for
Well, in the plan,
see if there's some thoughts.
go look at the planning board. For example, in the planning board, there's a good deal of discussion about whether this land's going to be devoted to solar field or for housing. Right? And there's quite a lot of discussion about that.
So you're looking for us to zone basically whether you can have solar panels or not.
Well, but before the zoning comes, is for example, the comprehensive plan. For example, in the comprehensive plan, it's clearly stated that, for example, Route 2 is meant to be a scenic corridor, right?
Sure.
It's not zoned like that, but it's meant. It's just it's a guiding document. Right? And I think this is. I think we need to do that. It's not just the solar fields. There are other things that have popped up. You know, things that were, Mark and Gordy and I were on the comprehensive plan committee. There were no solar fields, in 2011 or 2013. It wasn't like we were negligent in planning or whatever. But things just have to evolve, right? And then, for example, another thing, there were no cannabis shops here in 2013. You might want to, just, for example, get some idea of where these things, where you might want these places to be. And then that could lead to zoning, changes in the zoning line. And then another unappreciated feature of the comprehensive plan, it's meant to be a roadmap for the town, but also it's cited frequently by parties who are doing business in the town. For example, with the Chick-fil-A project, there's a DOT letter concerning the Chick-fil-A project, and it states that there are aspects of this traffic issue, they may be inconsistent with the 2013 Brunswick Comprehensive Plan. In other words, they're citing, DOT is citing the comprehensive plan as a factor, right? And then also the,
Yeah, that was a very strange comment. It was out of their purview.
well, be that as it may, that they're citing the comprehensive plan.
The comprehensive plan says that's where we want our commercial growth in that quarter, and DOT says, oh, maybe not.
No, they're saying specifically about the traffic.
But the traffic, I understand
Right,
that.
no, I'm not defending their.
No, I
their
understand.
statement.
There's no way to defend it.
Right.
No, I'm
You
not
can't
defending
defend
their
it.
statement, it's just that they're citing our plan for that.
Yep.
And then also the developers also cite comprehensive plan when, it's justification for their projects. That happens also. So it's I think it's time to get the comprehensive plan up to date, and I don't know, what the process is, who starts the ball rolling. I know last time it took 2 years to get it done. So,
Before that, we got into it and they gave up on it. And then we,
well, there was one,
it was taking too long. So.
well, there was one in 2001,
You're right.
and then the next one started in 2011, and was approved in 2013.
Huge budget issue too. Very expensive.
Well, I think last time we had a grant to do this. I'm not sure what the process is. With this, And then I had one question, well, Wayne's here. For the CDTC recommendation, there was also a recommendation for getting a good pedestrian path from Hoosick down on McChesney, the McChesney Avenue extension. Right? It was one of the recommendations that was done. I was wondering if that was being followed from the town's point of view.
Well, yeah, wait, put you on the spot here. I know we get into the county once we get on Chestnut Avenue,
Yeah,
right?
the county doesn't own or maintain sidewalks.
No.
Back last year, there was a solicitation through the TAP program. There was this transportation something.
Just an assistant program.
Yeah.
We'll make it up.
But I looked into that and I started going through the requirements for getting that money to put sidewalks in.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah,
The minimum,
for a grant, yep.
yeah, the minimum project cost had to be $500,000 to put sidewalks in.
Right.
And the town would have had to pay 20% of that cost. So do the numbers, 20% of 500,000, there's $100,000. And we were only looking at putting sidewalks in up along Chesney Avenue, up to where the shoulder widens, so there was a reasonable walking path to get to the senior housing, get to the apartments. Yeah. And that was only like less than 2,000 feet. The cost to do that is going to be $500,000. So that project alone didn't make sense to go after that money where the town would have to come up with $500,000 worth of work so they could pay $100,000. So we decided not to pursue that one. We can, it's kind of have to be like some kind of planning put together, so we know where we want to put them, how much it's going to cost, how we want to go after that funding. If we want to go after the funding, the town wants to look at other revenue sources to do it. It's a process, so that would have been probably the best source of money because of the requirements and as to, sidewalks are included in using that money, but $500,000 worth of sidewalks is a lot of sidewalk. You have to get the county involved because it's on a county road. And then they have to look at right away, there's enough room there.
Yeah.
So we decided not to pursue that funding for Chesney.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Well, no, I imagine you probably go for smaller grants than that also. That's a possibility. I'm not necessarily talking about sidewalks. I think the wide shoulders are probably adequate where they are. But unfortunately, I know that the planning board made provision for the sidewalks going all the way down to Highland Creek. And there were, they had that space next to the road, they put gravel down there, and it all got rutted out in the rain. But that possibility exists there without putting in, for example, curved sidewalks. And then that widened shoulder goes all the way up to the back entrance of Walmart. And then there it stops, and then it's just downright dangerous trying to get from there on McChesney over to, that's all. So that's just my comment. Right? And then full speed ahead on the new comprehensive plan. Right?
All right, thank you, Jim. All right, anybody else at this point?
Yes.
Come on up.
Debbie Melson, I live on Grove Street over
Tip.
on Bald Mountain.
Tip that thing down a little bit, then.
Thank you.
Do you need me to repeat?
That's okay, thank you.
Okay. I just wanted to say that we've been very appreciative of all the efforts of Mr. Bailey and his crews over in our neighborhood. It's good to see the guys around. They've been around a lot the last couple weeks, as he said. And the guys have always been courteous. They're very careful about where they're placing their equipment. And those are always big items when somebody parks on their lawn or something like that. So I just wanted to say we appreciate all the work that they've been doing in the area.
That's nice to hear. He did give me a ride yesterday and did show me that work over there.
Oh, okay.
So,
They
thank
did
you.
a good job.
We appreciate that very much. Anybody else at this point? Mr. Melson, your wife is very nice. I'll make sure you follow through.
That's why I brought her with me.
Oh.
Jack Nelson, Grove Street. I'm here as a representative of the fire company, Center Brunswick Fire Company, past chief, like member, president. I know that the big thing that's been going on is the ambulance service. We all know it's a problem. I'm not a numbers guy, but I do keep paperwork. We have a letter from the Center Brunswick Fire Company dated October 25th, 1996, stating we had a problem then. We still have a problem. It's not getting any better. I know that, Mark have been on numerous meetings with us. They understand it. And I think we all understand what's involved because it's affected all of us and it's only getting worse. I know that you said you had a meeting with the green and white this week. There's always promises made, but at 2 o'clock in the morning when you're waiting 45 minutes for an ambulance, promises don't stand up, and the president and the vice president of the company are in the home in bed.
They didn't give me any promises, so.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's always been out, and like Mr. Sullivan said, they want money to put an ambulance in town, but they're gonna collect money anyway. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but it's something that we do have to keep pursuing. And it is an ongoing problem. I mean, people come up and they talk about Route 7 and waiting in traffic and everything else. Waiting in traffic is a heck of a lot better than being a volunteer fireman, wait 45 minutes for an ambulance doing CPR. And that's what it's come down to in different spots. And it's gotta be addressed, and I know it should be addressed at the state level, should be addressed at the county level. Now we're at the town level, and we're at the mercy. We need help.
To me, that's the sad part, because it'd be nice to, go on record saying that the county would address it as a regional thing. What happens is when it starts forcing different towns to bear the responsibility of the ambulance, every town can't afford its own ambulance, so it's very, very frustrating. But there's not much progress being made on that front, so Mark is informed me that they're meeting like monthly now, right? So we're back on. Thank you, we understand, so. Anybody else at this point? Kim, no? Okay. Bill, come on back up. I'm not beating you up, but I just got a thought.
Oh, boy. Well, I did look up. They did put notes in the system.
Oh, excellent.
They said that it needed to be rescheduled, and then they closed the work order, so.
Excellent.
We'll follow.
That's good. I didn't even know this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn, because I'll be honest with you, every time I come here, you're super busy, my man. I mean, there's a lot of new regulations and the stormwater, and it's just overwhelming. And my question to you is, you got a crew there, 3 people. Well, one of them's a union, extra pay, of course we can, foreman. Yeah, he wasn't a highway, he wanted to move up to the water. Mr. Bailey had a general foreman down there, he had a working foreman. One of our working foremen moved up now and working with you. So you got a working foreman. So my question is, do you utilize that person? Can you utilize that person? When you mentioned you got all these projects and is trying to rope them all in, you shouldn't be that really cloudy. I mean, can you figure out what needs to happen, meet with that general foreman and say, this is what I want to happen? And then he's responsible to take the 2 guys and plan. Can it work that way, or to take pressure off of you?
I have not approached it that way.
I know you haven't, but I'm wondering,
You know,
to be honest with you, we're paying them as a foreman,
Yeah, I mean, it's.
working foreman.
Yes. I had not considered that. That's
Just
all I can say
wondering.
at this particular point in time. So, I'm trying to get the guys to work together, collectively. I mean, we have 3 guys and you're covering water, sewers, stormwater, and everything else, They are working well together.
Yep.
Do we need to do some more planning and maybe more documentation? One is we're being forced in that direction for one, particularly on the stormwater side. There's a lot more paperwork that's to be done, which, is breaking Vinny in on that. I'll have a discussion with him. That's all I can say at this particular point in time. I wasn't paying attention to titles, just get the work done.
You weren't paying attention to titles, I understand that, but what's happening is he spent many years in the highway as a working foreman. And what Mike does is comes up with orders, you talk to Kevin, the general foreman, Kevin goes to, now he only got 1 foreman, right? Working foreman, Tracy, and they delegate. The other working foreman said, I want to move to the water. And, go on record saying, he has made statements saying, it's a lot better working in the water department because I don't have to get anybody any orders, I'm not responsible. But we're paying them under contract, and he's been here many, many years. So what I'm saying is, why don't we move that, if he's not gonna be a foreman and take responsibility to do things, and we're paying him a lot extra, and when you get time and a half, it's big money. Why don't we move that, position that foreman back down and give you another laborer?
First off, there's a lot of training that goes into this. Right?
And he hasn't been with you that long, and you train him well.
But he's working very well.
Yeah, I know he is,
The guys are working very well together.
but we're paying him.
We're
paying them, and you're killing yourself because you don't have anybody to go to, Bill.
Well, no, I do. I have conversations with them every single morning.
Yeah.
They tell me what they're doing. I tell them what I want done. We're working as a collective, okay? A little bit of a socialistic kind of realm here, No,
But the foreman doing a labor job, so what are we paying him to be a foreman for?
It's not that simple. You can look at it and try to say it's that simple. It's not that simple. There's a lot of moving parts.
I know.
There's video call. I can show you the text logs that go on all day long, about communication that's going back and forth. You know, we get called away to shut off the water. We get called to do a closing. We get called to do this. So it's not, this job is not as simple as saying, well, today, this is exactly what you're gonna do today and stick to that, because I don't have a crew of, 12 guys or whatever, so that you can break them down into teams and do that. So when you get this job, it's basically a job for people with ADD, because you get pulled here, you get pulled there, so it's not that simple. It is important that they work together, they work well together, because when it comes a freaking blizzard out there and we have a water main break, I don't want any consternation amongst the crew. We get out there and we work together to get the job done. And that's what we're doing right now. So I understand what you're saying about, a pay scale and everything else, but, I am fostering this in a way that if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, you'll have a department that will still function, right? It may not be a perfect, but it will still function.
And the guys are doing an excellent job. All I'm saying is,
we can discuss this.
Mike, you could use another foreman, couldn't you? I mean, that gentleman was foreman in the highway for many, many years.
I wouldn't be pulling away this man, because you have to also consider the fact that I need these three.
So it's okay, I'm just saying, if we're gonna pay an extra and he's gonna be a laborer.
It's not. Come on out, you've been out there when we've been on water main breaks, come on out more often, next time.
No, I'm not saying the guys aren't working, they're doing an excellent job. They're doing an excellent job.
Yeah, but they have to, with just 3 individuals, it's hard to say, oh, you're the boss.
No, you're not saying that. He's a union foreman that we're paying. And when you negotiate a contract, the union says, this foreman is gonna get paid up here. The other guys are there, so he's getting paid up here and he's a laborer.
It's not a laborer.
You just said he doesn't have any.
What people
But
say, what people say and what people do are 2 different.
I'm just saying.
I understand what you're trying to say, but
I'm not just bringing this up. Mike's got 17 people to keep happy, or how many? 16, 17. And you got 3. And they're part, I'm just saying.
And you know what? You start creating that labor division with 3 people, it won't work well. I just know that.
Yeah.
I've done this now 25 years, and this is working. For a small crew.
Yeah. No, they do an excellent job.
It's working well.
But when there was an opening and people wanted to move, this gentleman said, we'll move up. And it was, my mentality was, the guy that retired, Wayne, he was a foreman, correct?
Yeah, and he did less than Billy Harris is going. So let's not
But he
go
was
there.
a foreman.
Let's not go there.
So the sales pitch from your guy was, I'm a foreman retired, Bill needs help running the department. But maybe with your department, I mean, you got 1 guy going this way and 2. It's hard to have a foreman because you got a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, it's not a practical.
So in other words, a foreman's not gonna help you. I'm trying to take some pressure off.
It's just not a practical.
We're just gonna pay them.
Yes, you're gonna pay them, and they are working well together. And that's what's important, is that they work well together, because there are people that, in this day and age, I'm surprised in one way that it takes a lot to train, and a lot so that if something happens, I'm on vacation or whatever, I can go away and feel comfortable that something happens, they're gonna get it done, and they're gonna work cooperatively together, regardless of what they're being paid, I just never, that's not my mindset. I guess maybe it should be, but it's not.
Mike's comfortable when he goes on vacation because he got a general foreman that's been here many years, like your foreman, and he knows what to do.
Yeah.
So Mike can go on vacation, and then he's got a foreman,
Yeah.
a working foreman underneath him, but your department can't work that way very easily.
So they work well.
No, they work well. No,
They're well right now.
they're all having a good time.
No, it's not. No, I don't care what anybody else in the system, what they say in any kind of backbiting or stabbing or anything else like that. Is that my concern is that we provide good potable water 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Same thing with the sewer. And if something goes wrong, I want to have a good working relationship with the men that are underneath me so that I say, come out here, we're going to get this job, we're going to get it done, and we're going to keep the public happy. And that's what's important to me.
And as long as you can keep the other two guys happy because they're all doing the same job and this guy here is getting paid quite a bit more because he's a foreman, as long as everybody's equal on that and happy, you're doing a good job.
I have not heard anything from that end. Of course, everybody wants more money.
Right.
But I haven't
Usually
heard anything.
Bill, usually what I hear is, hey, wait, I'm in the ditch, this guy's getting paid more. But if you can do that, if you can pay a guy to be a foreman and he's doing the same work as the other two, they're all getting paid the same, doing the same labor, you're doing
They're
fine.
doing it, and that's the way it's working right now.
In the water department, as far as I can see, you're doing good. I've seen you out there with brakes and all this stuff, but I'm just wondering, and it's good to know that you have this to-do list type deal, I didn't know that. But I just think
there's a lot that goes on that nobody really knows.
No, I know.
I'm
just trying to make it easier.
I once heard an expression that they said, well, water and sewer departments, they just figure you're out there, drinking whiskey and playing cards all day long because, you have your water, you have your sewer, and it's coming to your house every single day. It's amazing you get a break and people come right out and go, hey, what time am I going to get my water back on? And it's just like, and it's only been out for an hour. What is it? The public expects it to be there now. And yes, while we try to accommodate that, you have to have a crew that's dedicated to being there.
That pertains to the whole highway department.
Exactly. But let me take and close the road and shut people's water off, then we'll see who's.
No, maybe you can't utilize the foreman.
He's working, everything's working out fine regardless of what they're being paid. That's a union deal, not my deal.
Okay.
All right.
I'm trying to be helpful here. You're doing a good job. All right, anybody else at this point?
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, no.
I'd like to make that motion, but I'd like to do it. We had 2 first responders this month that passed. J. Paul Gagnon from the Spiegeltown Fire Department, longtime member there, and our Assistant Chief of Brunswick 1, David Klug, who we laid to rest today. So I'd like to, he's a good friend. Both these gentlemen dedicated a lot of time to this town and keeping the residents safe. So I'd like to close the meeting in honor of those gentlemen.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Stack of papers we got.
Yeah. Good thing.
Oops. You've already finished your water. So I made it less. Yeah. I'll get it. Here you go.
What are you doing, Jim?
Yeah.
Nope.